Hi there. In this short business topic video, we're going to take a look at the concept of the mission statement. Now, the mission statement is all about what the purpose of a business is. This is at a really high level. Why does the business exist? What is it that it's trying to achieve? What is the vision for the future? And to what extent does the mission support that vision? So the mission statement, therefore, is not a detailed statement of the targets, the corporate objectives that the business wants to achieve. And it's not really about the core values or the organizational culture, or in terms of marketing strategy, how the business intends to position its products in the market. The mission statement is very much at the high end, the top level of the hierarchy of objectives. This is a diagram that you should become familiar with when you're considering the different levels at which a business sets objectives. And you can see from this that the mission is right towards the top. It's about the purpose, the reason why the business exists. Below that, of course, the corporate objectives, what the business as a whole wants to achieve, and the detailed functional and business and individual targets, those should be supported by the mission. Therefore, it's important to remember who the mission statement is intended for. It's not just for the individual employees or the managers of the business, although, of course, those are important stakeholders. But it's broader than that. It's trying to reach out to customers, trying to reach out to potential or existing investors. And of course, it's also about trying to explain to society what the purpose of the business is too. What makes a good mission statement? Well, of course, a lot's been written about this, and to some extent, it's a qualitative judgment, a matter of opinion as to whether you think a mission statement is a good or a bad one. But in essence, what a mission statement needs to do is to provide that really clear sense of business purpose, something which helps bring the stakeholders of the business together, to excite, to inspire them, to motivate, and certainly to guide them in terms of their business decision making. I think a good mission is also pretty simple, pretty easy to understand, and perhaps most importantly, easy to remember. Something which is distinctive and easy to remember, I think, has more impact than one which is perhaps too bland. A good mission might also help differentiate the business over the long term from those it tries to compete against. And of course, it should also be all-encompassing. It should be intended for all stakeholders, not just narrow groups like shareholders and managers. Let's have a look at a couple of examples, see if you can spot who you think the mission statement for these organizations are. Here's the first one. Can you guess which one this one is? Our vision is to create a better everyday life for the many people. Who do you think that is? Well, if you guessed IKEA, well done. That's the IKEA mission statement. Here's another one for you. To inspire the human spirit, one person, one cup, there's a bit of a clue there, and one neighbourhood at a time. Whose mission statement is that? It's one of my favourites, one of my favourite businesses. It's Starbucks. And one more. To be the Earth's most customer-centric company, where people can find and discover anything they want to buy online. To be the Earth's most customer-centric company. Who could that be? It's Amazon. Bit of a clue there, where people can find and discover anything they want to buy online. Now, of course, mission statements have their critics, and I guess with good reason. Some of the more common and popular criticisms of mission statements are listed here on the screen. Let's just pick out 2 or 3 that you need to be aware of. I guess one of the most important is that sometimes there is a disconnect between the mission statement and what the business actually does, how it behaves, what decisions it takes. So a mission statement that is not always or at all supported by the actions of the business is a pretty worthless one. There's a common criticism that mission statements are essentially just marketing and public relations, or PR, and that they really don't go much beyond their intended marketing audience. And as a result, perhaps they're therefore regarded quite cynically by staff and other stakeholders. And of course, they may be too vague, they may be too general, which comes back to this point about a good mission statement being distinctive and memorable in order to make it more effective. And I guess the final point at the bottom of the screen there is that for a mission statement to work, it really needs to encourage and get buy-in from all the key stakeholders. If it doesn't, then it's not performing as well as it needs to. So that's been a brief introduction to and provide some examples of mission statements.